I'm just a guy who loves Disney that has way too much time on his hands. If anybody from Disney is watching, please don't sue me. I'm here to rate, review, and describe all of your favorite things from the magical world of Disney. I'm File91e and welcome to my Disney News and Reviews. Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Disney News and Reviews. I'm File91e. And a pretty even week for me this week, guys. Nothing much really going on. Just getting ready for Disney, that sort of thing. We're in May now. How crazy is that? Before I get into May, I want to just give you the Where in the World answer. That was the Journey into Imagination with Figment. I think you all got that pretty much. Nothing really, stupendous there. I believe a lot of you actually like my top 10 retro or rides I wish would come back. I will do another top 10 on retro rides in October. That's going to be Retro October or Retrober, I want to try to call it, or whatever. That's my theme for October. That's all retro rides, aside from the inevitable Halloween episode that should be awesome this year. Actually, I want to do some big things for that. Anywho, May is going to be Movie May, which is basically all about movies. I plan on trying to review one old movie and one new movie that Disney put out for the entire month, and then at the end of the month I'll give you a top 10. But actually the last video of May, which is May 31st, is actually going to be a big review of Maleficent, that movie that comes out. So technically the top 10 will be in the before the end of May slot. The last actual review in May will be will be a top 10. I am letting you guys know that I will be off that first week of June, so that's heads up there. But it's weeks away. I just wanted to give you a heads up on that. So yeah, Movie May. It should be fun. I got some old movies that I really think you guys might enjoy. But also there's some new movies coming out, especially this this month, $1 Million Arm and Maleficent, which I plan on reviewing and seeing in the theaters as well. And one other thing before we get to the news, Disney actually has released a new album. It's an electronic dance music album called Deconstructed. It has a lot of your favorite DJs remixing a lot of some of your favorite Disney songs from some movies. I've heard some of the tracks before because of the House Disney album that I have. But this one was really cool. There's Party Source Rex, which is one of my favorite tracks on there, which was from the the Party Source Toy Story short. There's also the Main Street Electrical Parade, which is from House Disney, and there's some other ones. So there's a Let It Go remix done by Armin van Buuren. Very good stuff. If you don't like electronic dance music, you probably won't like this. But if you're into dance music, pop music, things like that, give it a listen. It actually came out on April 22nd. I totally forgot about it until now, and somebody brought it to my attention, and I went and bought it. Just wanted to throw that out there. You guys might be interested in it. If not, don't worry about it. Go back to listening your boring music like country music or whatever else. Yeah, that's right. Shots fired, country music. Shots fired. But yeah, anyway, that's it for me this week. Let's get right to the news. Alright guys, so there is a ton of news this week, so just bear with me. A lot of stuff happened this past week that you might be interested in, such as the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train coaster is officially has an opening date May 28th. On May 28th, there will be a grand opening ceremony and all the hullabaloo that goes around that. And Disney actually has released numerous videos showcasing the brand new roller coaster, and I gotta say, it looks spectacular. There's video down below. Check out the check out the link. It's really, really awesome. I love it. I love the way that it actually swings and whatnot. They did a couple soft openings this past week, and let me tell you, it's great. So check out the link below if you really want to see the new Seven Dwarfs Mine Train coaster. Also this past week was the 25th anniversary of Disney's Hollywood Studios. As per the course, Disney celebrated such an occasion with a rededication ceremony, parade of stars, and a special fireworks show at the end of the day. Now, there's tons of videos on that. You can go to www.magic.com. I linked a couple of videos down there. I didn't want to give them all. Check them out here on YouTube. There's tons of videos of that, and you know, it seemed like a great time. And it's hard to believe I'm older than Disney's Hollywood Studios. I'm 3 years older. God, I'm just getting so old. Jeez Louise. Anyway, so check out the links below if you want to see those videos. Disney has announced plans to rename the Polynesian Resort, a new look for the lobby, and Trader Sam's Lounge. So a lot of stuff's happening on, to the Polynesian Resort. The resort will be returning to its original name, Disney's Polynesian Village Resort. Also opening in 2015 will be Trader Sam's Grog Grotto, which is based on the popular themed lounge at Disneyland Hotel in Anaheim, California, which is where I will be staying when I go to Disneyland in September. So I hopefully will be able to bring you that, and I'll showcase that when they do their grand reopening for the Disney Polynesian Resort. So awesome stuff. Disney's Animal Kingdom will be debuting an all-new premium nighttime event called Harambe Nights. Each Saturday night, Disney's Animal Kingdom will host a special event including appetizers, beer, and wine, along with a new theatrical show in the new Harambe Theater narrated by different celebrities. Afterwards, more food and drink will be on offer at the Harambe Nights Street Party, which is pretty cool. Harambe Nights will run on Saturdays from June 7th to August 9th, 7 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. It's about time that the Animal Kingdom is doing something at night. Obviously, they're going to have to close down the animal portion of the Disney's Animal Kingdom because the animals like to go to sleep then. They go to sleep at night and all that stuff. But the one thing that the Animal Kingdom has been really lacking is some good nighttime entertainment, and they're starting to fix it. That paired up with the Avatar Land coming, and and some other thing this one other thing that that I'm going to mention. You got some stuff really looking good on the horizon for Disney's Animal Kingdom, and hopefully when I get back to Disney World, I'll be able to enjoy the Animal Kingdom even more. Also related to the Animal Kingdom, Disney has revealed a concept art for a new night show called Rivers of Light. It promises to be an innovative show unlike anything ever seen in Disney parks, combining live music, floating lanterns, water screens, and swirling animal imagery. The show will magically come to life on the broad natural stage of the Discovery River, between Discovery Island and Expedition Everest, delighting our guests and truly capping off a full day of adventures at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Now, no opening date was given, so it's not quite sure when they're going to be doing this, but Disney has always wanted to do something with the Discovery River. Originally there was going to be like a raft ride, but that never kind of panned out. There's even a small little walkway that you can go down and get almost into that water, which you wouldn't want to. It's kind of swampy, but it's just really cool that Disney's finally going to do something. Like I said earlier, with the nighttime, in Disney's Animal Kingdom, and this awesome light show, which could be kind of like the World of Color over in Disneyland, could be a great thing, a great addition to the Animal Kingdom. So I'm really looking forward to that. Very cool stuff. And in rehab and refurbishment news, the Tomorrowland Transit Authority People Mover refurbishment that was scheduled for May 3rd to June 30th has been moved back. The new dates are June 2nd to August 4th, reopening to guests, on August 5th. The originally scheduled refurbishment of the Astro Orbiter at the Magic Kingdom has been moved back later into the summer. The new dates are June 2nd to September 19th, reopening on September 20th. And finally, the Liberty Square Riverboat at the Magic Kingdom is scheduled to be closing for a short refurbishment in August. The refurbishment will begin on August 4th to August 8th, reopening to guests on August 9th. So, excellent stuff there. Good, big, solid news this week. Really awesome stuff. So keep those in mind when you're going down to Disney World. And let's get right to the reviews. Alright guys, Movie May, and I'm going to start off this Movie May with a great review of an older Disney movie, and the reason why I'm choosing this particular one is it was requested of me by a longtime fan. I couldn't get Teacher's Pet or Romeo or whatever that one was. Those are Disney movies that I just haven't seen, and they're not on Netflix or anything, and I haven't gotten a chance to get it. But one of the ones he asked for was the 1955 Disney's animated classic, Lady and the Tramp. Now, like I said, this came out in 1955, and this was the 15th, I believe, Walt Disney feature film, full feature film. And this was coming right after Cinderella, so this is after the first Disney resurgence, after World War II and all that stuff. Now the most interesting thing about Lady and the Tramp for me is the making of it. Not necessarily how it's drawn, but how it literally became made. This was a story that Disney had been thinking of for a while. Now, the Lady and the Tramp story was first thought of by a man named Joe Grant. He used to work for Disney and was one of Disney's biggest, story contributors. When it came to thinking of stuff to put in the movies, he actually worked. If you really want to kind of think of how he did, he actually left the studio in the 40s or the early 50s and came back actually in the 90s and contributed a lot to films like The Lion King and even Pocahontas. And the example I'm about to give you in Pocahontas was the to kind of have the wind, the leaves and the wind and everything. That was his idea, to showcase the movement of the wind and whatnot. That was kind of an idea that he brought to it. But Joe Grant had sketched his dog that he had just gotten, and Walt Disney liked the sketch and decided to have Joe try to write a whole treatment. Give me an idea for this. Pitch me an idea with this awesome dog of yours, because he really liked that dog. He thought it was charming. It was a Springer Spaniel or a Cocker Spaniel or whatever it was. So he came up with this story about his dog feeling neglected because of a new coming baby, which is actually kind of the basis of the story for Lady and the Tramp. And he added some other stuff in it, but overall it wasn't that good of a story, and Disney didn't really like it, and he shelved it. And then all of a sudden World War II happened, and he really wasn't making a lot of stuff. He went and moved on to some other things, and then finally Disney made Cinderella, resurgence of the Walt Disney animated, of Walt Disney animation. And after Cinderella, Disney was kind of thinking of what he wanted to do next, and he heard of this short story in Cosmopolitan magazine called Happy Dan the Whistling Dog by Ward Green. He really liked the whistling dog character, and decided that he had another dog story on the shelf, and decided to merge the two, and thus that's how we got Lady and the Tramp. Now, unfortunately, Joe Grant left before Lady and the Tramp actually ever happened, but Walt still retained the rights to that story. And a lot of people forgot that Joe Grant really had a huge hand in making Lady and the Tramp, so got to give props to him, with that. So overall, they merged these two characters, and that's how we got Lady and the Tramp. That's the short version of the story. Now, the story itself is really great. It's very charming. If you haven't seen Lady and the Tramp by now, you're missing out on one of the great pieces of animation. The story is pretty good, but what the actual movie is, the art in the movie, and some key scenes really make the movie stand out and make it one of the great pieces of animation ever. One of the scenes is the Siamese cat scene. Everybody loves that one, mainly because of the music. But just how it was drawn, and just everything in the house was very old school. Walt was going through a time. This was when he went back to Marceline for the first time, and really was connecting back with his roots, and that's why you can see a lot of the old-timey aspect of Lady and the Tramp, how it's a very Victorian, turn of the century, the stuff that Disney really appreciated back when he lived in Marceline, Missouri. He really appreciated that, and he also opened Disneyland around this time, and he had Main Street USA, so that was kind of the same thing. So there was a lot of the same common theme going on at this time in Disney's life. So it was very neat, and just to see that, I really appreciated that. Looking back on it. Another giant iconic scene that everybody always talks about is the spaghetti eating scene. That's actually a scene that Walt thought wouldn't work, but Frank Thomas, the awesome Frank Thomas, thought that it would and knew how he could make a dog eating spaghetti lovable and romantic. And sure enough, he did it, and it's become one of the most iconic scenes in film history, all of film history, along with that awesome song Bella Notte, or Bella Notte, if you really want to give it an accent, you know, right behind it. So very, very, very iconic stuff there, you know, in Lady and the Tramp. Now the characters are also very relatable, very, very well acted. The Nine Old Men obviously did this movie. This was one of the you know, one of the early movies, so Disney relied heavily on these big time guys. Frank Thomas, Ollie Johnson really killed it. Wooly Reitherman, he did a lot of the action scenes, and you know the rat almost getting the baby, that was a big thing. And you know, there's tons of other names in there, like Eric Larson. He did all, you know, like a lot of the sidekicks, and he did Peg, which was the Peggy Lee character, you know, that dog. So you know, a lot of big talent and big names doing this, you know, doing this movie. And these guys really hadn't animated dogs before convincingly, and if you watch the animation, they really put the time and effort into making these dog movements, you know, perfect. And there's the one scene where he, you know, where you first meet the Tramp, and he stretches, and you see that stretch in his back, and you really feel like he's going to stretch, and then you want to stretch too. So that's just really great to see. You know, and just overall, it looks great. The backgrounds are awesome. You know, they filmed this in CinemaScope, which is a widescreen format, and you know, actually most theaters back of that day really didn't have CinemaScope, so they had to make a full screen version, which kind of shrunk everything down. But to really see this movie in CinemaScope and see the detail of the backgrounds and just all you could get with that aperture is just amazing. And so when you watch the Diamond Edition, it's all in that CinemaScope widescreen format. You really get an appreciation for the art that is in the background and just how detailed those backgrounds are. But I actually found out that Mary Blair, that famous Disney artist that I love so much, was originally slated to do this, but she left in 1953. She left the Disney company in 1953 to pursue children's books. So that was a big thing. So we didn't get to see her, you know, her take on that, but she did do some watercolor ink that, you know, that was, you know, the basis for some of the, you know, the early story that wasn't used. But overall, the backgrounds look great, and it's, you know, it's one of the highlights of that movie, just to see those backgrounds in that CinemaScope. It's just quite excellent. Now, the other great thing about this movie is the music. There are some iconic songs and iconic pieces in here that really, you know, showcase the talents of the Walt Disney Studios at that point. Now, these people at this point in this time were almost, you know, they had everything down to a science. They knew what what needed to be done. These were, you know, the top of the top people at the top of their game, ready to make some good feature films. They had just gone through a war. You know, they made Cinderella. That was awesome, and they wanted to get their teeth into something else. And so there was but this was also the time, it was getting more modern, where studios really like to use, like, you know, familiar people or a popular musical artist to help with their movie. So they hired Peggy Lee to do the majority of the songs, and there's not a whole lot of songs in this movie, but the ones that are in there are superb. You know, He's a Tramp, sung by Peggy Lee, just awesome. She has an awesome voice. You know, the Siamese Cat song, also sung by her. Both tonalities are from her. Just a great song. And then obviously Bella Notte, which is you know, expertly sung and expertly done, and one of the most romantic songs you could ever have. And you know, really, you know, appreciate, if you want to, you know, say I love you to your partner, you know, you got that awesome song, you can have that right behind you and really amplify the mood and really have it be awesome. Also, Ali Wallace did the background score for this. He first did Dumbo, a great talent. This was his last animated feature that he ever did. before he passed away. He was kind of an older man at this time, but his talents were, were great and really appreciated. And one other piece of trivia is that there was actually a big lawsuit between Peggy Lee and Disney over the rights to the songs. And it wasn't until 1991 that this was settled, and Peggy Lee won the lawsuit, claiming that she kind of owned the songs and would deserve rights and or monetary rights to to the songs that she created. And I agree. She created these awesome songs. She wrote them, performed them, and they're pretty much hers. So that's just a piece of trivia that you might not know. But overall, this movie is excellent. It actually spawned a direct-to-video sequel back in 2001. Now, you all know my opinion on sequels. I really don't like sequels that much. I don't have it, I don't believe. Yeah, I don't really have it. I'm not really into sequels or getting the Disney sequels. I think eventually I'm going to have to get them, but yeah, I'm not too much of a fan of the Disney sequels. But there is a sequel out there, Lady and the Tramp 2, Scamp's Adventure, I think it's called. Yes, Scamp's Adventure, so there's that. So overall, this movie is one of the all-time great classics. The story overall it's the most adult of Walt Disney's early movies, compared to Pinocchio or Dumbo or anything. This is the most adult. I mean, it dealt with some stuff. I mean, there was even a hint to a little bit of lovemaking in there with the whole, she had puppies at the end, and then there was that night on Lover's Lane, that sort of thing. So, oh my God, there was the dog getting put down there. I mean, they were dealing with some heavy stuff that, for a kids movie, really, it wasn't really heard of at the time. But yeah, overall, Lady and the Tramp is one of my favorites. I love to watch it every now and then. There are some great songs, great artwork in it, and it's totally one of the one of the best of the early Disney movies. So what am I going to give Lady and the Tramp? I'm going to give this 4 stars. It's really, really a great movie. There is some things that it's lacking. It's not exactly, I would say, on par with Cinderella, but some people love this movie. It has a huge following. You can get it on Diamond Edition. I think it might have actually gone into the vault, but you can find it. I'm sure you can find it. It's a great copy, great restoration. And overall, I really dig it. It's a good movie. I have to have it for the collection, obviously. And I love the songs. I love the artwork, and overall, it's just a great movie. So, The Lady and the Tramp, 1955, 4 stars. Check it out. All right, guys. The next thing I want to review. I'm sure you want to hear my opinion on this for whatever reason. It's Captain America 2: The Winter Soldier. I went to see this a couple weeks ago. I didn't see it when it came out. I wanted to see it after all the hullabaloo had died down and see what everybody else was feeling about it. And overall, this has gotten the most positive of all the Marvel movies that of late that I've seen, aside from the Avengers. Obviously, the Avengers was just a crazy good movie. Everyone that I've talked to loved this movie and actually said it was better than the first one. A lot more action-packed. I'm not going to give any big, spoilers away. Captain America fights bad guys, foils plots, and does good deeds, and overall wins in the end because he's Captain America and he's not going to win. The good guy always wins, right? You gotta have the good guy always win. Now, so far, this has grossed over $650 million. It's been out for about a month. $650 million worldwide. This is crazy. This is actually on par to be one of the biggest Marvel movies out there. I think this actually did better than Iron Man 3. Not sure. Didn't really do check the figures on that, but I think it did. If my mind serves me right, which sometimes it doesn't. So don't quote me on that. But I did enjoy this actually a lot more than Iron Man 3, and I can't wait to see how this progresses forward for the for the Marvel universe. Now, again, the story, I'm not going to give too much out there. It's basically Captain America dealing with life, still dealing with life in modern day, USA, modern times. He still has that, that super serum. He's that awesome soldier that is just dealing with, adjusting. He makes some friends, but he's still working. He still does a lot of the Shield's work, and is, just accomplishing things. Stuff happens. I'm not going to give anything away. Stuff happens, and him and Scarlett Johansson's character, Black Widow, are thrown into an adventure. She plays a big thing, a big part in it. And you also got Hawkeye. Actually isn't in there. He's actually on some. Apparently, he's on some other mission, doing some other things. But you do have a new, the entrant of a new Marvel hero, the Falcon. Great character, played excellently. He did a great job with that, and it's just really awesome to see how they interact, and what happens. You see a lot of Nick Fury. He gets some stuff done, and overall the scenes with him are great. But there's a lot of action in this movie, a lot of stuff going on, and most importantly, this sets up the Avengers 2. This sets up, possibly the plot or some of the stuff going on for the Avengers 2. So that's a whole big reason to see this movie, especially if you plan on seeing the Avengers 2. So go out and see this movie. Great. I saw it in 3D. It was good in 3D. Not really a whole lot. I mean, if you saw it in 2D, it wouldn't be any different. So the 3D really didn't make any difference. Overall, the actors did a great job. Chris Evans is Captain America, so he did such a good job. When he was cast as Captain America the first time, I could not see him as anything but the Human Torch. He's that guy. I couldn't see it, but he is Captain America. He did such a good job with it. The guy who played the Winter Soldier, I'm not going to give any spoilers away. He did a great job. Scarlett Johansson, her character, obviously Black Widow, she did an awesome job. Her hair changes apparently every movie now, which that's just going to happen. She did great. All the members from S.H.I.E.L.D. Coulson wasn't in it. Kind of ticked off Coulson wasn't in it. Wanted to say Coulson. I will avenge you, Coulson. He wasn't in it. Even though he's in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show. Come on, where was he? I guess him and Hawkeye took a sabbatical or was on vacation. Again, Falcon did great. His character was awesome, and the fact that he's friends with Captain America is great. Very, very cool stuff there. But overall, everybody did a great job, and it was just a really, really great movie. Really well acted. The sets and graphics were outstanding. I read somewhere that the directors, the Russo brothers, wanted to use as much practical sets and practical effects as they possibly could, thus minimizing CG. Obviously, you're going to have to CG 2 or 3 gigantic helicarriers, but for the most part, all the stuff that you see, the fight scenes and everything, were really done with real effects, and I appreciate that. I like to see real stuff when real action and real sets and everything when you could use them. I hate just green screen for green screen purposes, but they really did a great job with it and made a great movie, and it looked really, really awesome. Again, the cinematography was great. It looked like a very polished movie, but it wasn't over polished. That's that's a really good word to use. It wasn't over polished, kind of like the movie Fantastic Four was. That was over polished, and I didn't quite like that. It was too clean and too bright. With this one, it was a little bit more dark and gritty, and I really dug that. The music was good, done by Henry Jackman, I believe. He did a great job. It wasn't really overt, but it was appreciated. He did a good job with that. And that pretty much is Captain America 2. Now, you're going to want to stay during the credits. Stay all the way through to the credits. I have no idea why anybody in their mind would think that there's nothing after the credits during a Marvel movie. There's always something after the credits during a Marvel movie. So whenever you're sitting there watching a movie, especially if it has superheroes in it with Marvel or anything like that, stay till the end of the credits. You're going to see progress and progression toward other movies. So you will see some stuff that helps move along the second Avengers. So there are 2 end credit scenes, actually, one during the credits, one at the end. So hold your urine if you have to, and stay till the end of the credits. And again, like I said, this flows with the new Avengers movie. I can't wait to see the Guardians of the Galaxy when that comes out. I really want to see them and the Avengers hook up, but apparently I'm not going to see them until Avengers 3. I kept hoping that I would see the Avengers 2, or see them with the in the second Avengers, but who knows? I'm just excited, man. I'm just so excited for the second Avengers movie and to see what all this stuff comes out. And I'm excited for Guardians of the Galaxy, and I'm really flipping out for that. But overall, Captain America 2, The Winter Soldier was excellent. Everybody who was in it was great. Even the Winter Soldier character, which you're going to want to go see the movie because there's a spoiler there that I can't give away. But overall it was perfect. Everything that was done was great with it. And it'll be interesting to see what happens in the future with this Captain America character and everybody in it. Hopefully it'll be fun and cool, and everybody will get treated right. I'm really hoping. They are going to make a third Captain America set, I guess, to release in around 2016, in May of 2016. So who knows? Maybe movie May in 2016 is going to have a Captain America 3. So that'll be kind of fun. So Captain America 2, The Winter Soldier, I want to give it 4 stars as well. Avengers was a movie that blew my mind. This was right up there. This one didn't quite blow my mind, but it moved the story of the Avengers 2 very well. It was great. It was fun. I urge you all to go see this movie in theaters. It was just a fun movie to see. You're eating popcorn. You're ready to go. Oh my God! Look at the fight scenes in this. They did a great job with it. And there was even Crossbones. Crossbones is in it. The Captain America villain. If you can spot him in the movie when you go see it next time, you'll get my props and everything. So, yeah, Captain America 2, The Winter Soldier, 4 stars. Check it out. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's Disney News Reviews. I'm sorry if it was long. With these movie reviews, I like to give, trivia and stuff like that. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. I want you guys to go see these movies. It's just really great. And we had a lot of really good news this week. So, go Disney for, making the Animal Kingdom a little bit better and all that stuff. And it's just really cool, really awesome stuff. So yeah, if anybody from Disney is watching, please don't sue me. I want people to go and watch these movies of yours. Go buy it on DVD or whatnot, or go see Captain America 2 in the theaters. I love your movies, and your movies are, what made it all happen, especially, with Snow White and whatnot. And that Seven Dwarfs Mine Train coaster is a fitting tribute to that. Now, if you are going down to Disney World, be sure to go to allers.net, touringplans.com, www.magic.com for our latest and greatest Disney news. WaltDisneyWorld.com is good too. They have everything you'll need there. Passporter.com is another really good one. They have an awesome guide that is really good. So yeah, you guys guessed last week's really easy. I'm sure this week's will be easy too. But yes, so that's the end of week 1 of movie week. A movie month, and week 2 is going to be one more old movie that you might not have ever heard of. I want to try to pull one obscure one, and then I am actually going to review Muppets Most Wanted. So check that out. It should be fun, and I'll see you guys next week for another Disney News Reviews. And where in the world am I this week, guys? Bye.
Totally new way to make 3D movies. An extraordinary camera was custom built and used only once to create a magical 3D fantasy shown exclusively here at the Walt Disney World in Florida and Disneyland. The show was so popular that Disney and Kodak decided to use the camera again.